information could be life-changing for you. I have a feeling they were invited to take a look at this some time ago, maybe recently, maybe many years ago, and they think that it could impact you greatly. I'm going to start by sharing with you my story and how it impacted our family. I'm a physician assistant, and in 2008, I was invited to take a look at this company. And at the time, I was really busy. I was working 12-hour days. I saw 60 to 70 patients a day. The days that I wasn't in the clinic, I was in the OR cutting cancers out of my patients and sewing them up. I wrote over 200 prescriptions a day. And in an effort to get out of that crazed work life where I never saw my children and they called my nanny mom, I started two businesses, my husband and I, in the previous 12 months to finding out about what I'm going to share with you tonight. We had invested over $100,000 in those businesses. My husband opened a construction company in addition to his full-time estimating job. And I opened a skincare retail store, a brick and mortar skincare retail store that was in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, that I ran with employees in addition to working my full-time job. Plus we had two children that were 9 months old and 3 years old. So our lives were very, very busy when we were introduced to what I'm going to share with you today. But I knew immediately when I looked at it that I needed to get involved. I knew they were speaking truth. And I was very, very interested in at least using it for myself. I'll start by sharing that. So I'm going to introduce you to a company called Pure. Now, Pure stands for People United Reaching Everyone. And I believe with all of my heart that everybody deserves to have this information. And so we are sharing it with you. Now, I've learned in the last 15 years that I've been sharing this with others that there are two groups of people that are very interested in what we have here. One group was me in the beginning. I was very interested in the health aspect of this. I had just found out with my sister that her son had severe autism in 2008. I sat with her as the doctor said, he will never speak. He will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. And as my sister is sobbing next to me, I had a lot of questions. I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences, in addition at that time to being board certified to practice medicine, and I began to do an extensive amount of research. And through that research, I learned that what we put into our bodies is extremely important. And so as I began to hear the message that this company is delivering, I immediately recognized truth because of the research I've been doing. Another group of people are very interested in the income side of what we have to offer. Now, I became interested in this side once I realized how good the health side was. That being said, there are people attracted to this every single day who are in desperate need of a financial change. They are either in debt and not sure how they're going to get out. They are fans of multiple streams of income, which was totally me in 2008. I just had no time. Or 3, they have no time freedom and they're looking for time freedom. They don't know how they're going to get out of the situation that they're in. And they're looking for ways to create that life that gives them time freedom. And so I will tell you, I was attracted to how it started. It literally started in a clinical practice, this company. They utilized this philosophy of cleanse, balance, build with their patients for 30 years. The results were so good that there was a 3-year waiting list for people to get in and have a consult to get put on this system. And so they decided we're going to start a company, but rather than pay for billboards and commercials and radio ads, rather than buy shelf space at Whole Foods where I never would have seen it, they chose to share person to person to person. And that's how you're on today. That's why I'm here today. My brothers called me in 2008 and they said, we're not getting off the phone until you agree to look at this. We know you're into nutrition. I have a list of the books I was reading back then. My eyes were being opened to the importance of plant-based nutrition. And it was because of a drastic family event with the diagnosis of autism that I all of a sudden was really, really interested in learning about this nutrition world. I heard this and I thought, I can't out-research 30 years. I'm in. Give it all to me. Because I knew from what I heard in their presentation, and then by looking at the box of the bottles that the company offered and what I was using, it was better than what I was currently purchasing. What really attracted me was I could click one button and it's all going to come to my house. I no longer have to do the organic garden and the juicing and the health food store and the turning the bottles over and the research before I go in there. the average person walks into the health food store, there's 50 different kinds of vitamins. They don't know which one to get. They ask the guy behind the counter who makes minimum wage, or they're internet warriors at night looking up, my children's allergy medications aren't working anymore. What's a natural option? Whoever paid the most money for their marketing pops up to the top of that screen. You're here today because somebody you probably believe, like, and trust said, you've got to take a look. I got started because it was easy. It was truth. It was used in a clinical practice. I'm in. I'm sick of doing the research on my own. Give it to me. It was easy. And I'm here today, 15 years later, because of the very, very real results. You guys, within 1 week, we saw changes in our family's health. My sleep, I had horrible sleep issues that I thought was normal, just normal for a mom of 2 small children. It wasn't normal. As soon as I got started on this system, my sleep, I just started sleeping like a rock. My energy levels went through the roof. My son's horrible constipation issues totally resolved in 7 days. In 6 weeks, my husband's extreme depression and anger issues were gone. And 3 months in, my autistic nephew went from being totally nonverbal and screaming all day to speaking. And that is why I'm here today, because I became so quickly obligated, I would say is the word, so passionate about what happened that I said, I have got to share this with others. So what are we doing here? Are we selling you products? Are the people who invited you tonight selling you products? No. I want you to think about it, about they're telling you about a membership club. Think about it like getting a membership at Amazon or Costco. Okay. So we know how much those cost, right? Over $100 to get an Amazon or Costco membership. At Costco, you get a discount on all the products in there. Imagine now that there was a flyer on your door when you came home today that said, hey, if you enroll with this company, Amazon, whoever you refer to Amazon for the rest of your life, whatever they purchase, you're going to make 20 to 50% back on their order. Like literally, if they buy $100 TV, you'll get TVs aren't $100. $100 blanket, you get $50 back. And then if they tell somebody, you'll make 20 to 50% of what they tell, whoever they order, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Are your wheels starting to turn? Because if you got that offer from Amazon or Costco, I have a feeling you would take them up on it. You would be calling people saying, hey, you need to go sign up for this membership, right? What do they sell there? The tires, hoses, baby diapers, okay? We are selling life-changing information. Do you need to know about the tires and the hoses and the baby diapers to be able to send people to Costco where they can get what they need? No, you don't. I'm doing the educating. I have other leaders doing the education. We have thousands of hours of education on what this company offers. You were invited here today to take a look because somebody felt strongly that you needed to hear this message. They have gotten involved for one reason or another. I got involved because of this philosophy of health. If we cleanse our bodies of the toxins, balance out our pH, our hormone levels, our sleep, our exercise, and build our trillions of cells that are screaming for nutrition up with plant-based, whole raw food nutrition, this amazing house that we live in will work the way it was made to work. I believe that with all of my heart. We have wellness advisory panel made up of medical doctors who are literally recommending it in their offices. You guys, these guys have medical licenses on the line, and they say, we believe in this so much, we're recommending it to our patients. We have many products in the physician's desk reference. That's what I used to write prescriptions for 20 years. And our products are in there. And some of them have been in there for over a decade. This is the real deal. So what makes Pure different from other things out there that you've heard about? And I know I haven't gone into the products yet. I will, I promise. But I'll tell you, this is what makes it different. Anybody who starts a business, you guys, is looking for how consumable is it? How many people, I should say, what's the demographic for? How many people are going to be using this on a consistent basis? Is it just for the women, right? Because that's only 50% of the population. Is it just for the children? Because that's a small portion of the population. Oh, it's for baby boomers. That's a big part of the population. This is for everybody. It is for everybody with a body, even your dogs and your cats. If you have a house that you live in, your body, it needs nutrition and it needs to get the toxins out. And I believe now, after practicing medicine for 20 years and being involved with this company for 15, that the majority of our health issues are the result of us being toxic and of us lacking in nutrition. What else makes us different? We're a consumable product. Okay, if you're looking to sell something, if you're going to start a retail store, these are the things you guys should be thinking about. Who's it for? How many people can come through the door? Everybody. Okay. It's a consumable product. How many of you have a Pampered Chef baking pan in your kitchen? I do. Okay. I bought it like 15 years ago, and I'll probably never buy another one because it's supposed to last my whole life. What a horrible thing to sell. People buy it, they use one their whole life. If you're going to start a company, you want something consumable that people consume over and over and over and over again. That's just smart business, guys. It's smart business. What we have here is food that people consume. And this is what I found. When someone starts with our starter package, 93 out of 100 people repurchase our products, 2 to 4 of them every month. Okay, I found the really healthy people who are already supplementing, they purchase like 4 to 5 products a month or more. The people who aren't really healthy and they know they should be doing better, they tend to purchase 2 to 3 products a month. Okay, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But what really makes us different is we're the best. You can tell when you take it, you can tell when you don't. And friends, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are consuming supplements and you cannot tell when you take them and you cannot tell when you don't, you should be taking a second look at what you're consuming. If you go on vacation for a week and you don't pack a suitcase of your supplements, that means you probably can't tell when you take them. If we go on vacation for a week without our supplements, holy moly, we did that once. I mean, nobody's pooping, nobody's sleeping. My husband's crying, then he's yelling. It was crazy. We've now traveled the world with these products because we can tell when we take them, we can tell when we don't. I'm very, very passionate about the change that people see in their health when they get started with Pure. As time has gone by and I've shared this message, I've become maybe even more passionate about helping others to create the life that they've always dreamed of. But what happens with so many people is they get into their 40s or their 50s or their 60s and they've worked their 9-to-5 job their whole life, or maybe they've tried to start a company and it failed because 95% of them do. And they're like, it's just the way it's always going to be. No, I've been doing this 15 years. I'm really good at helping people make money. I'm really good at helping people create a life that they thought they couldn't have. What else are you doing right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, you will have weekly checks that last a lifetime? What else are you doing? Even exercise won't pay you like that. I don't know how long it'll take you to create that weekly check. Some people here do it in a week. Like within a week, they're getting weekly checks for the rest of their life. Some people it takes a year. Some people it takes 5 years. But I will tell you, this business model that I'm telling you about is recommended by some of the most brilliant minds of our time. Richard Branson loves the business model because of the small startup cost. He also has gone on record saying that every American should have a small business for the tax write-off purposes. So I've had multiple small businesses over my adult life, okay? One of the problems with small businesses is how much they cost, the overhead, the startup, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just losing money left and right. Tony Robbins has gone on record saying this is one of the most brilliant business models for people to get started with because of the low startup cost, the low overhead, and then the ability to leverage your time. That means make money while you're working your full-time job because myself or one of our leaders is working for you, just like I'm doing right now. What are you doing right now that if it's paying you while you sleep? What are you doing right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, will pay you for decades to come? See, most people don't have that kind of income. Most people think of actors who are in Christmas movies who get paid royalty fees on those movies, or singers have created a residual income, or maybe people who buy real estate, have apartment buildings. Most people don't have that bank account to be able to go buy an apartment building, much less the time freedom to deal with all that goes with that, right? Or the education. It's very scary. What I found here is that when you begin to create a weekly check, it allows you to dream. It allows you to pay off the past. It allows you to dream for the future. It allows you to create additional businesses if that's what you're looking to do. I'm going to tell you, I told you earlier, I believe most of our health issues are the result of us being toxic, out of balance, and undernourished. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. We are putting food in Tupperware containers and putting them in the microwave. We're eating food that has been sprayed by guys in hazmat suits with fungicides, pesticides, herbicides, larvicides. We're out of balance. We stare at our phones way too much. We are not getting the 8 hours of sleep that our cells need to regenerate. We're eating too much sugar. And on top of that, we're severely lacking in nutrition. And there are multiple studies that show that. Journal of Nutrition came out recently saying that more than half of our American children are not getting the vitamins and minerals that they need. I want you to think about the genetic pipeline that you are in, okay? What are your parents struggling with if they're still alive? And what your grandparents, are they still alive? What did they struggle with? Was it Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis? What was it? Unfortunately, it's in your pipeline, and it's going to probably hit you faster than it hit them because of the toxicity, the poisons. We don't have a choice in that, okay? And the lack of movement, the lack of sleep, the increased stress, and the lack of nutrition. So do you want it to hit your kids faster than it hit you? It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. So if you're a supplementer or you're not a supplementer, what we have works. They have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee on what we're offering here today. In 2010, a study came out showing you have to eat 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get the same amount of vitamins and minerals that our grandparents got from one of each of those things. Do you see the calories there? 3,617. No wonder we have an obesity pandemic in our country. We are literally walking around overweight and starving. Our cells are screaming for nutrition and we're not getting it in their bodies. I'm going to show you how to get it in your body in less than 30 seconds in the morning with what we offer here. And again, it revolves around this centuries old philosophy. This company offers many products. In fact, I highly recommend that you look at the family package. We have a couple coming on to share in just a little while, Justin and Francis, about why they started with the family package. I started with the family package because I had a family of 4 and my sister and her son. And I was like, I want the best bang for my buck. But over the years, what I've learned is there are oftentimes people that are like, just gonna buy the sulfur. And they just start with one thing and you check in 2 weeks later and they're not seeing any results. And that was beyond frustrating for me. If you're going to purchase something, I want you to see results. I want you to be ecstatic and happy. So how did we get to the 93 out of 100 people repurchase? This is how we did it. The starter package is the key because it cleanses, balances, and builds. There's 3 cleansing products in this package right here called the Core Plus. They cleanse the 7 channels that you eliminate through. You know, you have 7 elimination systems: your lungs, your liver, your skin, lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines. Sometimes we're so backed up, we can't eliminate it all. So when you're putting good nutrition in, your body can't even absorb it. We've got high amounts of omega-3s, plant-based omega-3s. Not plant-based, plant form omega-3s. Your body absorbs plants. It knows what to do with plants. This book called The China Study shows that we should be consuming high amounts of plant if we want our body to work properly, if we want it to easily stay in the proper pH. Alkalinizing foods, very important. But omega-3s have been shown in clinically published studies for decades to reverse and prevent almost every disease we face as humans. Your cells and your neurons don't even properly communicate if you're not consuming omega-3s every day. Okay, you're not consuming them? Fine for you, whatever. What about your kids? You want your kids' cells and neurons to properly communicate so they can be focused in school and so that they're less aggressive and so that they sleep better? Yes, you do. Okay, we've got the perfect form of calcium, plant-based calcium, perfectly combined with magnesium, vitamin K, vitamin D, sulfur, which decreases inflammation, Goyen, which we call marriage counselor in a bottle. It's like wine without the alcohol. It's calming, and clinical studies have been published comparing it to leading antidepressants. The most comprehensive vitamin you will find on the planet, and an alkalinizing blend of herbs and adaptogens and that energy. I wish they would call it focus, that we mix in with our cold water in the morning, and it is a plant brain food. Okay, 6 to 8 hours of dialed in focus, no thyroid gland fatigue, no adrenal gland fatigue, no chronic fatigue syndrome because you're drinking a pot of coffee every day. Okay, if you want to keep drinking your coffee, you can. I'm just saying, this is powerful stuff. Okay, so what we typically see is if people consume these 7 products every day for 30 days, there are 6 massive things that happen. And there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Now, if you're listening to this and you struggle with your health, you're on prescription medications, I want to encourage you to look at the Core Complete. I often say, if you're over 40, get the Core Complete. These are our superfruits that have been used for thousands of years in the areas where they're grown for different issues. They've been clinically studied in the US for over 3 decades, and ours are 100% wildly harvested. They have not been mixed with pear juice and apple juice to make them taste good. Again, the health people listening to this are like, wait a minute, this is interesting. It's very interesting, and you're going to love it. Okay, so Core Complete is my favorite starter package. With 30 days of usage, the average person sees better sleep, more energy, less pain, better bowel habits, Bowel habits are something I could talk about for an hour. We have massive issues in this country because we are not eliminating properly. Better mood and weight loss. Okay, now I'm not here for the 30-day changes. I'm here as a healthcare provider. I have multiple medical doctors working with me, sharing this with others, not because of the first 30 days. We're here because of what we see on day 60 and day 90 in the lab results. Okay, it's powerful stuff. Now, one of the biggest questions we always get is, how do I get this in? This is so much stuff. My boys are now 15 and 18. They've been consuming this since they were toddlers. I have videos of them consuming exactly what you see right here as toddlers, because I knew as a parent, it's not the teacher's job or the doctor's job to get this stuff in our kids. People want a gummy vitamin. It's not going to cut it, guys. This is liquid nutrition, and you can see them consuming their superfruits, their vitamin, their Goyen, their immune boosters, because this was during the pandemic. He's eating muffins with Mila in it, high omega-3s, high fiber. You can do this. 30 seconds in the morning, my kids get more nutrition than their whole class gets in a week. And when they don't take it, it's very obvious very quickly. I know I'm talking fast. I also know you have a short attention span, because we all do. So purelifechangers.com, you can go to hear the doctors educating on the products, see testimonies on the products, and learn more about the products as well as the business. Some of you are still thinking about that whole Amazon Costco thing. Wait a minute. I'm going to get percentage off of everybody that I send to the company, and then anybody they send. Yes, you will. So you can learn more about that on that site as well. You can also stay on and learn more about it. You can go to Changing Lives with Pure. You guys, some of you are watching this on there now. Use the search box, type in whatever ailment you're struggling with. You guys, what are you struggling with? Migraines, insomnia, restless leg syndrome, pain. There are so many Americans who are struggling with health issues, and we don't talk about it. We don't walk around with a sign that says, I have such bad heartburn, I throw up at night. My pain in my foot is so bad, I can't run it anymore. I haven't pooped in 3 days. I need an extra $500 a month to pay for my teenager's new car that we just got. Like, we don't tell people these things. So whoever invited you is like, if it's for you, just get on. Okay, but if you're on this page, use the search box and type in whatever ailment you're struggling with. Go to the media section, look at the lab results that were posted. I'm not going to make claims about what's going to happen for you. I walked away from practicing medicine in December of 2019 because of what I've seen happen for people. But I'm not allowed to tell you that food is going to help you get off prescription medications. I'm not allowed to tell you what food could potentially do for your health. But doesn't it make sense? Cleanse, balance, build, all works perfectly together. Get it in your body in less than 30 seconds for your body to work the way that it's made to work. I think it all makes sense. So before I go any further, I'm going to bring on some friends who can share with you their experience and their story and how this has impacted their life. And I actually just met Justin and Francis I guess 2 weeks ago now, but they are sharing this with a lot of people, and for good reason. Usually what happens is when people get started here, very quickly they understand the power of what they have their hands on. And so I'm excited for you guys to hear their story. Justin, Francis, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I'm going to disappear and let you share away.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Justin, this is Francis. I'm a retirement counselor, and Francis is a real estate agent. We've been married for 19 years, and we've got 5 sons. And so, but our pure journey really started about 4 years ago. And so we were in the car on the way to a funeral, and my doctor called me and said, Justin, I've got some bad news. You've got multiple sclerosis. And
that moment, I guess, is just etched in our minds. The boys were in the car with us. They had black suits on, and it was just one of those really tough moments in your marriage and in your life where things just can really change very, very quickly. But the Lord really brought some beautiful moments from that. I think that we are closer together today because of that. And health and wellness really has become our passion with each other. So that has led us to this year. Our good friend Kristen Hendricks introduced us to Pure, and she introduced us to the products. We were already, taking supplementation from other places and looking for the best products. And she said, these are the best of the best, and I want you to have these. She also introduced us to the business. And I'll be honest with you all, I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot take on another thing. I am a super stressed out mama. I had just had my 5th son. I am cooking, chopping, shopping, working real estate. I'm a working mother. I cannot do another thing. And so Justin really took the lead. He ordered the family package. He got the products. He started making the smoothie for both of us. And I think the products immediately started to work on me. My mood, my stress levels, my focus, my clarity, everything started to happen for me where I was able to actually even look at the business. And so I'll let you tell about your products.
Yeah. So for 4 months, been taking the products, and my vision has already improved. My balance has already improved. And probably most important, I was playing catch today with my son, one of my sons, and he said, "Dad, I think your hand-eye coordination is getting better. It's improving." And so that's the ultimate, maybe the biggest of all. But multiple sclerosis has taught me a lot about myself and about everybody else. And really, everyone is dealing with something, whether it is health issues, whether it's financial or sleep habits.
Yeah, we don't want to make claims what Pure can do for you, but just in 4 short months of us saying yes to the business, we have grown a team here in Knoxville, Tennessee, with business partners in California and Texas. And we're now paying for our boys' private school tuition, which takes a huge burden off of me financially. And, I believe that Pure is the vehicle that God is going to use in our family to nourish our bodies, to nourish our marriage, to nourish our community, and to nourish our home. So we're thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your very busy lives, obviously, to share this with others. And you guys, we never know who this is for, but we have done everything we can to get the information out to as many people as we possibly can, because again, we don't know who it's for. So we try to make it like easy to share, easy for anybody to say, hey, jump on this and take a look. And so that's really important to us. And so what is it that what is this really? This is an online health and wellness company. With a click of a button, you get the best of the best sent to your house. That's really all that it is. Okay. And you don't have to be the master of the mangosteen or the meal or the products that we have to be able to say, hey, I found something think you need to take a look at. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, I am very interested, let me show you how you can go get started right now as a customer or as a business builder. Just go to livepure.com. Throw into your shopping cart whatever it is that you're interested in. Okay, I've been talking about the Core Complete as my favorite starter package. The Reset Plus is a program that we have that includes the Core Complete, then also puts you on a program where you're resetting your metabolism. So if you're struggling with weight and you have another person that wants to maybe lose some weight with you over a 6-week program, that one is amazing. I'm going to be talking about the family package as well as some of our other products here in just a moment. When you go to check out, it's going to say, do you want to save money? Yes. Basically, you give them your email address and you get 25% off. Okay, so that's being a preferred customer. Do I have to pay a membership fee for that? Nope. Do I get to make money with that? Nope. So only do that if you have no intention of sharing it with anybody and no intention of making any money. There's no requirements to purchase more going forward, but that's how you get your 25% off discount that whoever invited you is sharing with you. So again, don't choose to be retail. That's paying full price. That's bananas. Preferred customer or independent business owner is really where you want to be looking. So if you've been listening to this and you're thinking, okay, I know somebody that needs to hear this, or you're thinking, I don't have enough money to spend on this. You haven't even seen the prices yet, but you're already thinking, I don't have enough money. It's making you nervous, right? I want you to really, really listen to this next portion. What if you had the opportunity to refer people to Amazon or Costco and you could get 20 to 50% back on the sale of everything they purchased, from refrigerators to tires to whatever? You would probably be running with that if you're struggling with money right now, okay? This is so much better. We have a simple system you plug into that I'm telling you, if you can do 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, it can change your life. Okay. Lastly, if you're somebody who likes multiple streams of income, so I know that's Francis and Justin, I know that's me. We were just so bogged down with all of the different things we were trying to do. For me, the checks were, coming in small in the beginning. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then they began to grow. And then I began to see this as a real business opportunity, which the low startup cost is what threw me off in the beginning. If you get 10 customers, 10 people who are just purchasing 3 to 4 products a month, you will make $400 a month. It's life-changing for some people. If you have 20 customers ordering 3 to 4 products a month, you make $1,000 a month. That's nobody being interested in sharing it with anybody. It's just people ordering. And remember, 93% of people who start with that starter pack, the Core Complete or Core Plus, repurchase. Now, this $1,000 a month, this 400,000 starts coming in, and listen, it's not even matching getting close to what I make as a PA. I made more than most doctors make in the field that I was in, but I worked all the time. And my kids called another woman, man, mom. So this money starts coming in. I'm working at my skincare store, and this money starts to surpass what I make in my skincare store. That's taking me 3, 4, 5 hours a day. This one, I'm just doing one phone call a day, one phone call a day, one phone call a day. And then the money just starts growing. And I'm like, what if I did 2 phone calls a day? How would that change? And so now it's been 15 years, and we've learned how to help people scale incomes that pay them weekly checks really, really fast. It takes time to replace your full-time income, but I did. I not only replaced my full-time income, I now make 5 times what I used to make at my full-time job. Does everybody do that? No. Why not? Most people do not follow through with a task that they start. Gym memberships in January and looking at who's coming in March is a perfect example. I was very persistent because of my nephews. My nephew started speaking 3 months after using Pure. I said, if I can just change one autistic family's life a year, I'm going to make 1 call a day, 1 call a day, 1 call a day. It's just what I did. I was very consistent. I was very persistent. And people who have life-changing. You can build teams all over the world. How do I leverage my time and make money? I told you, you share it with somebody, they share it with somebody, they share it with somebody. We're in Korea. We are in Thailand. And I'm going to tell you, in those countries, this business model, they're like, is this one of those? So excited to get started in it. Here we're like, what is this? Are you trying to make money off of me? People would rather give their money to Amazon and Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, than to get involved in a small business that their friend runs. Okay. This is so amazing. Think about where you're putting your money. If you're buying supplements that aren't really working, you guys, you owe it to yourself, your family, your health in the future to really look at this. I want you to think about it like vending machines for a moment. I'm going to put on my business hat. While I was in the OR cutting cancers out on Friday, I'm like, how am I ever going to get enough money to where I can be home with my kids, maybe just on Fridays? Maybe I'll put vending machines all up and down I-95. And every time somebody buys Cheetos and Pepsi, I'll make 50 cents. And maybe one day, this is like that. Except it's health. It's life-changing health. Okay, so in the beginning, I was just sharing the products, and I'm making a little bit of money, and I'm making a little more money. And then I'd share this with Aunt Betty. And all of a sudden, Aunt Betty, who could never walk past the front door, is now doing blocks in her neighborhood and is pooping every day, and her knee pain is gone. And her neighbors are like, what are you doing, Betty? Betty's like, oh, I got to tell you. So she starts telling people. Now Betty is starting to create income. She's a vending machine. She's creating her own income. And because you told Betty, you're now getting a percentage of what Betty does and all of her people do. And you're only building 2 teams, guys. I want you to think about it this way. Let's say that you invited 10 people on this webinar tonight. Let's say Justin and Francis invited 20 people on this webinar tonight, right? And you're watching this and you're reaching out to them and you're like, I'm interested. I want to get started. Your name is Bob. Bob's like, I work as a teacher. I don't have time. I have to grade at night and I'm in school all day long, but I'm interested. Okay. You guys, they're building 2 teams and only 2 teams. So Bob, you're either going to go on their left team or their right team. If you go on their left team, and then the next person who comes in is either going to go on their left team or their right team. So Bob could be at school tomorrow. All he did was order products and he's getting emails. Beth, join your team. Brenda, join your team. Leah, join your team. Bob's like, what? Who are these people? And what does that mean? Every time they order products and they tell somebody who orders products, that money goes into the commissions goes into a savings account for Bob. Wait, Bob didn't know them. How did that work? Remember, Justin and Francis are powerhouses. They're going to tell a lot of people. They're only building 2 teams. The sooner you join them, the sooner you have the potential to benefit from people they tell tomorrow, next week, next month. Bob might not even do anything for a year. But meanwhile, Justin and Francis are building this massive bank account for Bob that he can begin to cash in on as soon as he starts to share it. He might not ever share it. He might not share it for 5 years. What else are you doing that builds you a savings account while you sleep? Now, I don't know who told you about this. I don't know if they invited anybody to the webinar tonight, but you really cannot lose. And I will say again, what else are you doing right now? That if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, it will pay you for years to come. The enrollment fee is $49. free if you're military or a student. Also totally waived if you come in with one of our business packages that I'm going to be talking about tonight. So this is not to be a customer. This is, I want to have the potential to earn. I want a savings account built for me. Okay. Our monthly overhead. That's one of the big questions everybody always asks. What do I have to do? We don't have to do anything, but 93% of people repurchase. You're probably going to switch out whatever supplements you're buying right now to ours. Now, if you're not currently spending $125 a month on your health, I want you to think about something for a second. I'm going to get really real for a second. I want you to think about something for a second. We tend to replace these every couple of years, right? Most of us live in a few houses throughout our adult life. Most of us have a couple of cars throughout our adult life. We replace these things all the time. You get one of these. Multiple studies have shown that how you treat it and what you put in it matters. We are giving it to you on a silver platter, 30 seconds a day. You should be spending $100 to $150 a month on your number one asset that you cannot replace. There does get to be a time where you can't buy it back. We're pouring plant-based nutrition in. It goes out every 28 days. I recommend you look at our Smart Ship program. You get 20% back in free product when you go on our Smart Ship program, and that ships every 4 weeks. And 3 days before it goes out, you get an email. Hey, your Smart Ship with Pure is going through. Unlike a lot of companies, you can literally click a button and cancel or edit, which is what I do all the time. I'm editing because I have 2 boys who use the whole entire sports line. And so then you go place your first order, guys. You're doing all of this at the same time. There's no minimum order. If you're just a customer, you can do whatever you want to do. But if you're a business builder, you're going to want to look at one of our business packages. Okay, so let's talk about this for a moment. What is the business package? The family package is what I recommend you look at if you have a family of more than 4 or you're thinking about the business. If you go into Whole Foods and spend $2,500, you're going to look like a crazy person, right? Don't think of it like that. Think of it like starting a business. See, I thought of it like the health products. It's actually $4,000 worth of products for $2,500. Plus, whoever invited you has one of these 20% off coupons to give you. So this is kind of a no-brainer because of the $1,500 in free product. At least it was for me. If you're looking at it as a business, it's a total write-off, which is what my CPA is the one who said, I think we can write this up. I think this is a business. I'm like, it's too cheap to be a business. The overhead. This was my overhead with my skincare store. This is not a business, and I eat it, right? But this puts you in our VIP mentoring program, as well as our training program. Everybody who joins the business gets in our training program, which has this franchise-like system put in place. But $2,500, 20% off, drops it down to $2,000, puts you in our VIP program. Plus you get 4 of these to then go and share with the people you're inviting. I love the Reset Plus pack, also one of our business packs. Free shipping, free enrollment, but it gives you $500 in additional product, and it also puts you in our training program and the company's bonus program. All of them have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, and that one also gives you the 4 cards, the 4 coupon codes. Let me be clear, you can start wherever you want. You can come with the Core Plus, pay the $49 membership fee, and you can get started building that business. You will be plugged into the system where we teach you everything you need to know from your phone. You'll be plugged in right away. So you can very quickly make your money back. You use your 4 coupons. You begin sharing this with others. If they come in with the same family pack that you came in with, look, you made $2,000. You've made the investment in your small business back. Some people do this in 4 days. Some people do this in 4 weeks. Some people do this in 4 years. I don't know how coachable you are. I don't know what you know, who you know. I don't know what your work ethic is, but I know what's possible. So again, just go to livepure.com, guys. Throw whichever pack you want in the cart and go to checkout. Choose to be a preferred customer or an independent business owner at checkout. And remember, all we're doing is inviting people to take a look. We invite people to take a look at books and pediatric dentists and local restaurants all the time. You don't get commissions and referrals for that. All we're doing is inviting people to take a look. There's absolutely no cap to what you can make. And I'm currently going live daily all the way through December 16th. This is a trip of over 50 people that my husband and I helped earn this trip to Sorrento, Italy earlier this year. There were over 50 of us. The company rented out that hotel at the top of the hill, the only 5-star in Sorrento. And let me tell you what a blast it was. We've traveled around the world with this company, Hawaii 3 times, Europe 3 times, Bora Bora, Australia. If you like to travel on someone else's dime, it's their way of saying, thank you so much for sharing this with others. You could be going to Greece with us in September. In fact, I will guarantee you right now, Francis and Justin will be going to Greece with us in September. They got started 4 months ago. There's plenty of time for you to earn it. Anything is possible here, guys. We have story after story after story of people whose lives have been changed. Kristen went from working 150 days a year out of her house. Her kids barely even knew her, to being a mom who's working at home from her phone, replacing her corporate income. Josh and Ashley were in debt, got out of debt with their Pure money, then used that positive cash flow from Pure to invest in 12 separate real estate properties that are now giving them positive cash flow. And David and Lindley have had their lives absolutely changed. The significant weekly income that started coming in prompted a call from them. I guess it was about 3 months after they started. And the conversation went like this: Rachel, we're having an argument about what our check from Pure is this week. He thinks it's 500. I think it's 5,000. What is it? I said, it's 5,500. I don't know what you're going to do. Most people don't do what David and Lindley do. They were very coachable. They called a lot of people and invited them to get on a webinar and listen. These guys live in Montana. I'm going to be with them in a week. I've traveled with them to Bora Bora, Hawaii, as well as Italy. I didn't tell them. They told somebody who told somebody who told somebody told them who told them who told them, told Susan and Will. Yes, I travel and help my teams build. We have so many stories of people whose lives and health have radically changed, from ADHD meds to weight loss, to migraines being gone, to depression resolving, rheumatoid arthritis. Whew, those stories are just, that's why I do it. That's why I'm going to Montana in a week. I want to hear the stories. That's why I share this with others. I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I know it's real. The Core Complete is $414 for a one person's 30-day supply. I want you to think of it as a servicing. We take our car in for a servicing once every, 5,000, 10,000 miles. If you don't, the lights are going off. There's all kinds of signs that your car is not doing well. Gas mileage is going down. The oil levels are low. It's getting hot. What are the signs that you need servicing? Fatigue, hair's thin, bloating, pain in your knees. And what do? We go in for a checkup, and then we don't do that. We call in the prescriptions now, right? The average American is on 5 prescription medications at the age of 50. I'm not against medications. I just know there is a way to prevent being on that many. Okay. And so think of this as your 30-day servicing. And then after that, you go forward with your 2 to 3 products a month. The Core Plus is $289. It's a little less than $10 a day. Is your body, your one asset, worth that? If there's only one of you in the house, this is fine. If there's more than one of you in the house, you guys need to look at some of the other packages. The Reset Plus is my favorite for somebody looking to reset their metabolism. We're about to start a transformation challenge. It will begin January 2nd, where there's money on the table for those people who are looking to lose weight. So I've talked enough. I will tell you, if you do not change, nothing will change. If you don't make a change, nothing will change. And so, why can't I get out of here? If there's anything that has appealed to you guys tonight, my encouragement to you is to get back to the person who invited you and let them know. Let them know what your interest level is. Let them know where you're at. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. We are totally fine with that. We're not going to chase you down and say, what do you want to do? But get back to the person who invited you. Let them know where you're at. Don't go into the witness protection program. But I do believe it's God's business. And I also believe that if it is for you, you won't be able to get it out of your head. Get added to that Changing Lives with Pure page. And if you were invited tonight and you know you're in, text your person right now and say, I'm in. Because remember that tree? Timing matters. It really matters. So I'm live on a number of sites right now. I'm going to stay live for a minute, but I'm going to stop the recording and answer any questions that anybody has. So if you're listening and you see the little Q&A button, you can go ahead and type in a question. On the Q&A button, whether you're on the YouTube site or one of the Facebook sites, or whether you're on Zoom, that Q&A is for you guys to ask any questions that you want to. And I will be watching the chat to see if anybody has any questions at all. It looks like there's a lot of people asking questions about how do you invite people to this. So the best way to invite people to this is to number one, if you're an independent business owner, as soon as you join, we send you a welcome text that walks you through exactly how to get started. 30 minutes a day, how to do your training for the first couple of days, and then how to begin inviting. If you're on Changing Lives with Pure, they will see it. If you're inviting people to Changing Lives with Pure, they will be in this group and they will see it, and you can tag them in it. But however, there's also a Zoom link that we will be sending to you if you are an independent business owner on our team. So it's very simplified. We get it down very easy for you to understand once you decide you're going to become an independent business owner. Okay. Somebody is saying this is the real deal. Yes, it is the real deal. Let's go back over here and see if there's any questions. Yes, there are. Explain student enrollment. Not much to explain. Your enrollment fee is free. So if they want to have their $49 enrollment fee waived, they just have to call in the order. 866-535-5888 during business hours. Or you can go ahead and put them in now, and then you can call in tomorrow and send in an email of their student ID, and they'll have that enrollment fee waived. A lot of people who stay on this late are looking at the business, and so they're going to be coming in with one of those larger packages, and the enrollment fee is automatically waived for them anyways, okay? I've been inviting and growing my team. I need help with gas. Great. I hope that you're inviting properly. So again, we have a system that's in place. And one of the questions that people ask oftentimes is, why isn't everyone successful in companies like this? Now, first, I will tell you, there's a lot of companies out there that their products aren't great. Their comp plans aren't great. I've been here for 15 years. It's very hard to find a company where the leader you're working with has been in the company for 15 years and is still inviting and is still working with the team. And that's me. I'm still working. I talk to the owner a couple times a week. So I'm very engaged in working with you guys. I have been able to figure out why not everyone has success. Not everybody likes this answer, but I'll tell you what it is. I don't know what your influence level is, and I can't control that. Your level of influence is dependent on what you did the last 2 decades with your life, okay? Are you a giver or are you a taker? How are you with your friendships? Are you a listener or are you a constant talker? That's things your mom taught you, right? And so the beauty of this industry is you can change those things. And I've seen people change those things as years go by. But it's possible that you don't have a high influence. And so we're going to work on that. We're going to talk about how to become a good listener and how to attract people to you. We teach you those things along the way. 2, I don't know how coachable you are. We have people join all the time who are like, I already know how to do this. I don't need your information. You don't have to follow what we say. No, definitely don't. Okay. The last thing I ever want to be is somebody's boss. And I can tell you from experience, not a great boss. And so, but this is like a franchise, guys. It's like buying an Orange Theory franchise or a Subway, okay? Except you don't have the massive paperwork and the royalty fees to pay and the if you want to get out of it, the legal issues you have to deal with and the overhead of being in the strip mall. You don't have to deal with any of that, okay? The system that they have that's proven and works is in place. That's what we have. That's what you're getting here is that system. So I don't understand why somebody wouldn't follow the system. I mean, I can imagine buying an Orange Theory and saying, well, I've been in a gym my whole life. I don't really need to follow their system. I already know how to do this. That makes no sense. They have a system in place. Why wouldn't you follow it? It's proven to be successful. And so you don't have to, okay? We just literally plug you into this training program that you can follow on your own, on your phone, as much or as little as you want. I recommend 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week at a bare minimum. We have many people who do a lot more than that, okay? It's totally, again, there's no cap. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay. I don't know what that question means. So if you need help with gas, invite more people. Invite more people. I'll tell you the odds of the statistics that we've seen is that in this industry, 3 out of 10 people who watch a presentation get started. We found in Pure, it's more like 5 out of 10. So knowing that, how many people can you get on the live presentation? I do tomorrow, Monday at noon. I do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a live presentation at noon and a live presentation at 8. If you knew that every single phone call that you made to invite somebody to take a look was going to pay you $50 back, how many phone calls would you make? Now, there's no guarantee you're going to get $50 back, but in all actuality, one of those people could turn into $50,000 for you. So how many people will you call? And lastly, I'll say, if your child got a job at Target and they went to Target on Monday and they worked on Monday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., they're like, what a rough day. That was amazing. I love my job. I made a lot of money today. It was great. And then they don't go for the next 3 weeks. And then they're saying, I don't understand why I'm not making any money. Why am I not making any money? You as a parent would be like, well, you haven't worked since that very first day. That happens all the time here. People don't work consistently. 30 minutes a day from anywhere. You can do it from your phone. We teach you exactly what to do. So how many people do you think you can get to take a look at this? We all know people who need help with health. We all know people who need help with finances. Your lives, their lives can totally be changed by you just saying, it's got something amazing. I think it might be for you. It might not be, but I think it's worth your time. If I send you a link, will you jump on? Okay, so get back to the person who invited you guys. Thanks for staying on, listening, asking your questions. And you don't have to be good at sales. You don't have to know all about the daily build and the Mila and all that stuff. All you have to be able to do is invite people to take a look. plug them into our Changing Lives with Pure page, and then connect them to somebody who can answer their questions. Okay. Looks like there are a lot of testimonies going on the Facebook page. All right. Thanks so much, guys. It was nice to see all of your names, and I hope I see many of you tomorrow, Monday at noon. Have a great night. God bless. Bye-bye.